The search for a murder suspect and an Alabama corrections officer is now focused in Tennessee, where the couple's getaway vehicle was found. Casey Cole White and Vicky White, who are unrelated, vanished from the jail last Friday. Vicky was supposed to be transporting the inmate to court for a mental health evaluation. They ditched a patrol car and have not been seen since. Officials discovered the two had a special relationship, quote unquote, special relationship over the last 2 years. She even visited him in prison and gave him special privileges and food. Vicky put in retirement paperwork and sold her house recently. They both have warrants and they are considered armed and dangerous. And we see the video of the getaway here, and we see their pictures here as well. I want to go to my panel on this because when I first heard about this story, I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I said, I think they got a little something going on. So we have two attorneys and a professor, a historian here. So let's go to Kelly on this one. Let's go with Kelly. So Kelly, what have you been following this story? What'd you think about this?
I mean, I perused it, right? Like, I wasn't fully invested because, like you said, when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, they're together. This is like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. And I figured they would be caught relatively soon and we'd go about our day. I'm more surprised that this is not the case. Like, they are still on the run. All we have found of them is a car that is clearly abandoned. So I don't know what to think other than they're going to get caught eventually. You know, right. I'm curious to see how the police are going to interact with them. You know what I mean? Like, we are dealing with a convicted felon and a soon to be convicted felon. How is the police going to interact with this white couple when they are armed and dangerous, right? Right. That is something that I'm curious to see, as opposed to, you know, yet another Black person killed for just existing.
Exactly. Let's go to Matt on this. You know, I saw the story on Good Morning America. I saw the sheriff, it was either this morning or yesterday morning, and the sheriff had a message for them. He said, Vicky, you know how this is going to end up. You know, you've been down this road before. You know, they've chased down criminals before who escaped from prison. He said, you should just turn yourself in. So Matt, what are your thoughts on this one here? I think this is going to make a good movie too, but what are your thoughts on this, Matt?
Well, I would tell you, brother, I long jumped to conclusions when I heard this. I said, I know exactly what's going on. She helped this man escape, and that's her boo. I can't be mad at her. Actually, I can, because as a lawyer, I'm sure she's gotten some advice, or has at least consulted counsel, because obviously it's very hard to hide. You know, particularly when your face is plastered everywhere all over the United States. And, you know, jokes aside, what I do think is really interesting about this and insidious in a way is there was a lot of plausible deniability. The media, at least the reports I saw at first, they were concerned that she had been maybe abducted or that something, you know, nefarious had happened. Right. But what's interesting about that is they didn't start out with the evidence that would disabuse you of that notion. For instance, that she had put in retirement papers, that she had this long relationship with him. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of your people are thinking that is not the benefit of the doubt that a Black victim gets when a police officer shoots and kills him. Right. They don't get that benefit of the doubt. They immediately start, denigrating them or trotting out everything they think that's been done negative in their life to indicate that this person wasn't actually a victim. So I do think from a media coverage standpoint, this is instructive to further show the point that we see, that when it comes to white people, often there's a benefit of the doubt. But as it relates to them staying on the lam and not getting caught, I don't think it'll be too long before they're caught. And I think they will look very foolish in court, because this is very obvious, like that they, you know, perpetuated this ruse. So some lawyer somewhere is going to make a lot of money off this, I'm sure.
Exactly. And, you know, I know there are laws against convicted felons selling their story and making movies and things like this. But, you know, the guy's 6'9". So he ain't, I mean, you can't just hire somebody who's 6'9", okay? A white guy 6'9", and his face is plastered, everything. Everywhere. You can't just hide him. Jason, what do you think about this story?
Well, the first thing I thought, a headline flashed in my head, and that is, the whites are at it again. And of course, I mean, Casey and Vicky White. I wasn't
Casey and Vicky White.
But this white couple, Casey and Vicky, they really, first of all, just being someone who's watched a lot of those kinds of movies, this is going to be just like prison because they're not really free. Whenever you're on the run, and whenever you're an escaped convict, it's another form of prison. So they're enjoying their time together, perhaps right now, but they're going to realize they're not free. They can't go places. And it is very hard to hide when you are a 6'9", individual anywhere, and you're not Detlef Schrempf or some other white 6'9" guy. So they're gonna be caught. And this woman has, I don't know what kind of family she has, but she's ruined things for her family. She's ruined their reputation. She's gonna spend time in prison. I don't know if she has children, but she separated herself from her other loved ones for this, quick, maybe couple of weeks that she gets to spend with this guy. And I think she should have just lobbied for a conjugal visit or something like that. And maybe it would have been, that would have been worth it rather than what she's about to endure. And this individual, I guess he had nothing to lose, but she certainly did, and she made a terrible choice.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?